one more topic for the evening, and then we're going to spin the wheel. Is it acceptable to purchase a collectible you cannot currently display? Because I think this is a really interesting topic. I think we've all maybe done this in the past where like you buy something and you're like, you know what? I'm going to find room to display it, but I don't know exactly where I'm going to put it yet. I'm going to keep it in the box for now. For example, if the N1 Mando Starfighter came out, I'd be willing to bet that a lot of people would do that. They would be like, you know what? This thing is fucking massive, but I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I do want it, right? I might even be one of those collectors because I would look at that and be like, well, damn, like I really want that N1 Starfighter, but I have nowhere to put the damn thing. So do you guys think that that's like, a reasonable way to do things? Is something maybe you do sort of in isolated cases, like not so frequently? What do you think, Leo? Is this something that you've ever done? Like buy something in intent of displaying it, just don't have the space for it yet?
Yeah, Tumblr, for example. That's it.
Yeah, that Tumblr,
I
bro.
got that with the intent on displaying it, but I got it because, like I said, I really, really wanted it. I was like, you know what? I might as well knock it out while I can at that moment. Just get it out the way and just kind of just filter everything else around it, like build around it. There's pieces that I've gotten and I haven't been able to actually display yet, but I know what my intentions are, and I'd rather actually have them in hand so then I can actually once my display is done, whether or not, because I'm working on a couple things right now too, in ways that I'm going to display a lot of. And that's why, the desk was kind of phase one of moving things. You're going to see everything back here completely change, literally. So there's going to be some changes, made. But yeah, I just needed it. Again, we do it, every so often, like, a lot of us to get pieces that, we don't really display up front, automatically. We just wait until we can, organize. But to have it in your hand, and is to have it, in place for when you're ready to do it, that's acceptable. It just depends on what you're more so excited about. There's excitement. You want it in hand. So whenever you're ready to display it, it's like, boom, I have it. Let's go. So
yeah, I think you're right, Leo, because like, for example, like what Riley's saying in the chat and kind of what I'm doing now, I got stuff that I don't have any of my 1/6 in here right now because I don't have my module spaces yet. But when they get here, I'll be able to display everything I have, right? So I think if you have that goal in mind, instead of, I think it can be dangerous if you're like, you know what, I'm going to start expanding it to other rooms. And I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but I'm going to keep buying stuff. That can be dangerous. But if you already have a dedicated space, a set space, and you're just like, you know what, I'm going to have the space when I get my module cases or more DTOFs or whatever. So I'm going to get it for now while it's released and then kind of display it later.
Like I purchased, so what I did was I got like a mini 6 scale. Well, actually, I got a 6 scale kitchen with like, like a toaster and everything. I
Carlos
just
knew.
can't display it until I get like my 6 scale Carlos. Like once I get a 1/6 scale Carlos, then I can definitely display it. So that's going to be sitting for a long time. But I'm patient.
It's going to happen eventually, bro.
Yeah.
Carlos, what about you, bro? How do you approach this?
Man, this is an interesting one because see, this room that I'm sitting in now, this is supposed to be my collectible room. And behind me, it was supposed to be a wall full of figures and module cases. I ended up saying I wanted to go with Apex. I contacted Apex, and then I module cases just to get all this full of individual Apex or module cases that are of that same size. Then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna move in here, so I had to box a lot of my stuff up, even like my Hulk Buster and a bunch of other stuff. I had to box it up. But my intent is to definitely, go back and collect and display it probably in front of me or behind me. You and I have talked about this a lot, but yeah, I think it's perfectly acceptable. Because like if you're buying it, man, you can do what the fuck you want to do with your stuff. And if you want to display it, cool. If you don't want to display it, don't display it. Because at the same time, you can be like, well, what's the point of collecting if you're not going to display it? There's a lot of people out there who's like, well, what the fuck is the point of buying these? And why are you wasting space, displaying it to begin with? So there's always someone else who's not going to like what you're doing. But I think, man, if you're buying it and you just don't want to display it now, or your intentions are to display it or whatever it may be, to each their own. I think in this kind of scenario, if you're buying it, man, you can do whatever you want with it at the end of the day. It's up to you. Display it, don't display it. No one's really going to care, nor is it going to affect anyone else. You know what I mean? You're right. Like for example, the perfect example of this would be the N1. If they come out with an N1, I'm gonna buy it. I'll probably buy two, and just not gonna come out the box for a while. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's fine. You do whatever you want to do. It's your money. It's your collectible. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say though, with the N1, if they have that many electronics, then I would be very nervous to not unbox it and check it because
you would have to. You would
right,
have to.
right. But it's true, Carlos. With the N1, I feel like I would really want that too. But it's like, where would I put the damn thing, bro? Like it's
or rotate it, rotate it. Like
Yeah.
I get my Ecto 1 and then I'll rotate it and put it in my living room, and then I'll get the Jazz the Justice League, and I'll rotate them just because I don't have the room for it yet. But that's why I want this wall, right? We've talked about customizing it, but yeah, man, you do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like box collector, you know, what I know people call it that. It was like, well, dude, it doesn't fucking matter. Still a collector, but yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, guys. Well, great thoughts on that one.